What is good, YouTube? DNCTA60 here. Giving you my current Satellar deck. Doing it a little differently and quietly because people are sleeping. But I'm doing it this way so I can just get through this profile and talking a little bit more about Satellars. So yeah, let's get into it. 3 Denebs, of course. 3 Altair, 3 Unakalai, or Ukulele, 2 Vega, 1 Honest, 3 Pot of Duality, 3 MST, 2 Reinforcement, 2 Soul Charge, and 1 Book of Moon, 3 Alphas, 3 Call of Haunted, 3 Deep Prison, 2 Phoenix Chain, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Wiretap, Compulse, and Solemn Warning. And for the extra deck, 2 Deltaros, 2 Castile, 2 Honor Arc, Constellar Omega, Karen Gorgon Cowboy, Black Ship, Abyss Dweller, Excalibur, Zen Mains, Gem Knight Pearl, Crazy Box, and Maestro Legion. These 4 are interchangeable. Yeah, these are in here because I don't have other cards that I would want, such as Gem Knight Pearl, and Crazy Box. These are in here for the time being, but they're still good because of those rogue matches where people play skill drain that will really hurt this deck. In place of these would be Daigusto Emerald is very much needed, so as soon as I get that, one of these 4 would be coming out. Also a Rhapsody and Berserk, maybe Starleech Paladynamo, and basically those are the 3 cards I'm looking for right now. Zen Mains is decent, just in case people side Dirge, Stygian Dirge, for my deck, but if you want to take it out altogether, you can. It's your choice. I'm not going to show you a side deck in this deck profile because it's mostly just talking about Satellars. So this is a really good deck. What I'm starting to notice though is that it's seeing a lot of loss in popularity, and people are leaning more to Shaddolls. Whether this deck is too linear, it is probably not powerful enough, which I believe it very much is, because it can take on Shaddolls pretty well. It could take on Burning Abyss pretty well as well. The one thing that Shaddolls have over this deck is the Super Poly. Super Poly helps that deck out because it gets rid of our Exceeds, just the way Construct does. But it's a factor in the Shaddol deck that is much better suited for them to combat this deck. If Satellars had fusions, it'd be way different. It'd be way easier for Shaddolls to lose to Satellars just as easily as Satellars could lose to Shaddolls at the moment. But this deck, I believe, is one of the most powerful decks in the new set to come out, because it has massive amounts of protection, and just the fact that the monster's effects goes off whenever it's summoned is just fantastic. And it's a deck that's being overlooked at this point now, or I shouldn't say overlooked, just not used, because it's just not what people want to play anymore because of the pro players. I would blame it on the pro players making more use of the Shaddol decks or Burning Abyss decks, and that's fine, but in my opinion, this deck is still still number one in my heart. This is one of my new favorite decks. I'm being a little biased here because, to be quite honest, I haven't exactly lost a duel with Satellars, given the fact that all online duels, I'm referring to online duels, in my actual life experience, I've only lost twice, and even then it's still a good record. I've beaten a good amount of Shaddolls already, and I don't see the reason why more people aren't playing this anymore, or just lost interest. And it just does so well. It can run a full load of trap cards to protect. Deep Prison just destroys Shaddolls fusions. Call of Haunted will get all their effects off. The 3 MSTs to destroy floodgates, and side decking more back row hate will destroy floodgates. Duality is not so great in this deck, but it's needed to search out and thin your deck out more. Since we don't have an effective draw engine that is fast enough to get to monsters, I would say. The Infernity Barrier is one of these. This has got to be one of the best Infernity Barriers ever to be created. Just the fact that it can let you draw a card. It's like a Gemini Spark mixed with a Infernity Barrier, basically. And I like that because my favorite deck was Heroes, and in the popular Hero beat or Alias beat, you would run 3 Gemini Sparks. So this is my deck profile. I want to see a lot more people try and do well with this deck and not give up on it. There's still more support to come for it, along with Shaddolls, which I actually believe that the way the format is going, Shaddolls will eventually get hit way before Satellarknights would be. So if the format plays out the way it does, I wouldn't be too upset, because I know eventually Shaddolls will get hit and Satellars will just not get touched at all. And at that point, that's when I'll be sad, because I know some players will be coming back and crying to this deck and start making this the popular deck. So sad on that day, when that day comes, to see those players running back. But you know, for the real players, the real true Satellar fans, keep playing. Don't give up. This deck is great. Alright then, peace out YouTube. Enough of me rambling.